Hello, 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 all our lovely listeners. Welcome to yet another edition of the
World's
VGF.
sexiest podcast.
Yes, the VGF World's Sexiest Podcast, Strat Corner Podcast.
And that's your host, Scott Tholomew, Vanilla Conda, Shang Jackson.
Don't forget Czar. You can't forget Czar.
Czar!
Yeah.
Yes. And over here,
And my
the mathematician.
my beautiful co-host, very lovely, the lovely Danica J. Whatever. Tee-hee-hee. All right.
That is my real last name, too.
Is it? Tee-hee-hee? I knew there was a reason that I was blanking out on the last name. So I was like, what is it? Man,
We don't really know last names around here.
this is going to be an interesting podcast because Feng, I hate this character, and that's who we're doing.
I didn't know you hated him.
Oh, I do. I wish they would have never put him in Tekken. I hate him that much. And then
Really?
there's other characters that I wish they would remove from Tekken that have been in it forever. But he's up there. He's in the top 3 of my most hated characters list.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because he's really annoying. He's incredibly annoying. I just hate playing against him. He's just such a gay fucking character.
You just run into that hot palm all day, or what?
No, it's not the hot palm. It's just everything. Because I personally, and we'll get into this, he's my number 1 in T6, and there's just so many tools that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I have to watch out for this fucking bullshit. Like, back 1 is one of them. However, back 1 is far more retarded in T5 than it is in T6. I mean, at least it's punishable now. So that's a plus. But, I mean, there's just...
Still a good... Yeah.
And he just has so much garbage, like, evasive stuff. You're like, oh, I think I can attack here. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Never mind, because he...
I don't like panic button characters at all.
Yeah. and he has a lot of them, and a lot of frame traps to boot. So, okay, so let's just jump into the character discussion then. So the little short summary for all you kids out there. He has really punishable, well, not really punishable, but he has punishable launchers, with the exception of like 1. He's a below average punisher. And other than that,
Block punisher.
Block punisher, yes. He's a below average block punisher. And he's really solid in all other areas. I mean, I can't really think of any other weaknesses, unless you can, Dan.
Not really. He's another character that I like to fight just outside, like 2 character spaces away, though. He seems to have a harder time there.
That's true. I'll give him that, but I guess we'll just jump into it right there then. His distance. I don't really think that he has a distance issue, but he's definitely easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you kind of keep him out like that. But
I'm just picking crap there because he can do forward 2 or whatever. I don't know.
Well, forward 2 is like the juiciest. I mean that.
Well, that's even longer still, though.
Yeah.
I mean.
I guess. Wait. What?
I'm talking about like mid-range. That's like a long-range move.
Forward 2. You're talking. Okay, yeah. It's like.
Yeah.
So you're just talking. Okay, forward 2, and that's it. Just forward 2.
Yeah, just forward 2 is a decent move at that range or whatever. Cause,
all right.
I mean, you're not going to hit it, but if they attack, you're in a good situation.
I guess if I was playing Fang, I really wouldn't. I don't know. I really wouldn't be throwing out a lot of forward 2 because it's not very good tracking. But I mean, I guess you could.
Well, forward 2 is about as far as I go, unless you can see the whole counter hit thing developing. But yeah.
Okay.
If things start playing with forward 2 and 4-2-1, I let them. I say, okay, well, I'm just going to punish after the 2 and make you use your launchable last hit.
Yeah, the shoulder.
For sure. But
okay, I see what
it's just a solid poke or whatever move to throw out.
So you're just saying like that's just the range. Okay, you weren't like using forward 2 as a.
No.
Sure, okay, you're just saying that's the range that you would sit at. Okay.
That's about the scariest thing he has at that range, as near as I can tell. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think so. Because I mean, forward 2 goes a pretty decent distance, but I mean, a lot of his other stuff travels that far. I mean, his crouch dash alone makes it almost impossible to get away from him.
Yeah, he's got that solid. I understand, like, forward 2 actually doesn't even have that much range. It's just good for, like, the zoning of that range.
All right.
Because basically for it to hit even, they have to be attacking. So you can just throw that out, and they have to, you know, like, if they didn't start attacking, they see that hit, and they go, okay, I have to at least wait for the second hit or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess play a little mind games. But on the topic of that, I guess a Feng, in addition to a bunch of other crap that he has, he does have a lot of the threat of the second hit sort of strategies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and he's and this is another reason why I hate Feng. But I mean, I guess as a character, it makes him better because more people can play him. But because of all the range of tools that he has, you can play him a few different ways. And he has a bunch of stuff that
very options.
Yeah, that makes you stop because of another hit coming out, but he doesn't necessarily have to do it. Like I can like forward 4-3, for example. I mean, a lot of people just like to do forward 4 and then go into back turn junk or whatever. Or some people just like to continue to 3 and do some mix-up shit out of it. You know, there's a bunch of different ways that you can play him, and that's one of the ways. I mean, you can just sit there and do. And you know, another one is forward 3-4. It's the 2-hit launcher. I mean, you can just play around with that and, you know, delay the second hit or just not do it at all or, you know, whatever.
That's probably my favorite launcher for him.
Really?
It's just forward 4, yeah.
Forward, you mean 3?
Forward 4.
Okay. So
that's my favorite launcher for him. Down forward 3 would be, because it's like his only safe launcher, but the range sucks balls.
Yeah, but seeing how much, and I actually hate that launcher because it's safe, so you can just kind of spam it. But the way, I mean, how quickly he can get to range 0 with his fucking crouch dash is retarded. Mm-hmm. And it just makes it so strong. Just because it tracks, for one. It doesn't, I mean, it's not like superb tracking, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're even a couple frames off on your sidestep, it'll get you.
I always thought that Feng players should snake dash a lot more too. That makes me sad not to see that shit.
Well,
I mean, you have those decent moves, and they kind of have to be afraid of you know, all those crouch dash things. But then, you know, he's got really good sidestep moves, not just sidestep 4, but like the rest of the junk. So I think it would just really make a Feng player scary if he started snake dashing in my face, and then safe down forward 3. Sorry.
Yeah, and I agree. And just kind of a general comment. I wish well, I don't wish because I fucking hate Feng, but it is a little sad that I mean, there aren't more Feng players out there because he's so good. Like, I've only ever in my entire T6 playing time, I've only run into two Feng players.
Well, if people don't see a Korean in a YouTube video playing him, they don't play that character. He must suck.
But I mean, there's a couple though that show up every once in a while on LD Maxie's channel. So,
oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, he gets all sorts of shit. You know, I mean, you see fucking Wangs and shit getting played. So, those people play.
Everyone wants to be knee. Everyone wants to be leady. They want to be these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's true. That is so very true.
The Michael Jordans of the game.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Eric, not George Mikan.
Yeah, no George Mikan. It's all Michael Jordan.
Whatever the crap that is.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard he's really tall though. So, but
I heard he's white.
Yes. Back when black people weren't allowed to play. So back to the whole snake dashing issue. That's actually a good segue into another one of his strong areas is evasion, and not just not just sidestepping, but just he has a ton of moves that just either crush or they go over under shit or they go around you and stuff that's
built-in multi-purpose properties.
Built-in multi-purpose properties, and it's really annoying. And like a new move to T6, the up forward 2, technically, the move, it's punishable because it's -10, but that doesn't matter because because of the pushback on it, nobody's going to get you with jabs. I mean, there's only going to be very, very rare situations where you're doing that with their back against the wall or some shit, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. But, and that move is just retarded because, I mean, if it's on normal hit, he only gets a couple frames, which doesn't really do much for him. But because of the evasive properties of it, it usually hits counter hit. On counter hit, it knocks down. It doesn't give him any guaranteed follow-ups, but because of his incredibly strong Oki game, doesn't matter. He's gonna
walks right.
Yeah, he's gonna
walks right into the next phase of his game.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of, you know, when we were talking about Lars, you know, he has all these tools, but nothing that complements each other. This is a move that by itself is okay, but because it allows him to seamlessly go into another phase of his game, it all of a sudden becomes way stronger. So.
And that's actually something we haven't covered enough in these podcasts, is those types of moves, because there's a lot of characters, like, they have abusable moves that, you know, don't appear to lend that character, you know, really good situations, but some of them are actually pretty busted.
Yeah, and I would put Thor 2 in that fucking category, because you can seriously just spam that. And you have to be, I mean, it's really hard to deal with. I mean, the only thing that you can do is, I mean, once you block it, you can't punish him, but at least for 10 frames, you can get up in his face and try to do something. But, I mean, but you have to be throwing out tracking moves, otherwise he's just going to do another one and it'll go right around you. It's really...
That's the thing in general, though. You got to keep doing that. You always have to be mindful of the tracking.
Yeah. And, really, I mean, in order to play against Feng, you really have to watch your punishes, and you have to be on the fucking ball. Because, I mean, if you just let him sit there and spam back one, and you're not punishing that, I mean, you're going to get counter hit all day, and there's not really much that you can do about it, because you're not giving him any reason to not do it. So... But, yeah, evasion, and then he has all sorts of other panic moves. Back one is one of them. His hop kick is really good. It's short range compared to other hop kicks, but...
I was just going to say.
But if you're using it as a panic button, you know, you're going to be at range 0, so... I'm trying to remember what's... he has another one. Was it back... No, not back 12.
Down back 1, 2?
That's a good one.
That's another panic.
That is another good one. That's incredibly good. But god damn it, why can't I remember? I never use the move, but it's he like shuffles back and then does like a palm, and like it's like a full backdash almost, and then he comes back with a palm. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't fucking remember it. I don't really like it because it's punishable, and it doesn't really give you insane amounts of reward, but...
Are you talking about back forward 1?
Maybe.
That's the best I can think of. It's really evasive, for sure.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of. Like I said, I play Fang, but I don't use that move ever. I just know it's there. So,
yeah, you should.
Yeah, but I mean, I was just kind of to add to that. It's like, oh, even though he doesn't need it, well, here's something else that he can have.
But if players start using that one, I usually, okay, I have time. I'm going to charge up whatever my best launcher is. Yeah. I'm going to get away from this.
Yeah, pretty much. So he has all this evasive crap, and then, like, to make your issues even more, you know, to compound the fucking situation, he has all these stupid crush moves. And I should not forget sidestep 4 before I move on. Like, sidestep 4 is retarded. Even though...
For those of you who've been waiting this entire discussion about Feng for us to say that move.
Yeah, it's there, and it's painful. And, I mean, luckily they nerfed it, but it doesn't matter. It's still good. Still.
I had a hand in that, by the way. I'm just saying.
Did you? How did you have a hand in that?
I did. Oh, back in Tekken 5, when everyone was bitching about... I don't know how broken that game was or whatever. I was talking to Maxie and Jop, and we started making suggestions on how to balance out the game. They did pretty much all of them, actually. I raped Steve more than anyone else.
Oh, wow. And look at him now. He's not really all that raped. I mean, he's not as good as he was in 5, but it doesn't. He's still really good.
You're welcome. Spin punch to combo was gone. But Feng, we suggested back 1 being punishable, and sidestep 4 being more like Ling's block stun.
Oh yeah, which was an amazing suggestion because he needed that. I mean, that was a necessary nerf. Because that when you saw Fang's play in 5.0, that was their game. Back 1 and sidestep 4, and that's and that's all you needed. Ugh, it was so dumb. And then 5.0 had legitimate tech traps, so it just it was nasty. That game was so.
Well, he's still a character, like I don't know, they haven't gone through and figured out all the right risk versus rewards and everything. So he's got like a lot of moves that seem to slip under the cracks that are way better than, I don't know, people even expect, like, out of his move list, because they're so used to seeing, like, sidestep 4 and back 1, that you got moves like his down 2. That is just ridiculous.
Down 2 is ridiculous, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was just about to get into the crush moves and stuff. His lows are sick, and they all seem to fucking crush. Like, with the exception of his down 4, the down 4 1+2 string, because, he stays standing when he does that move. With the exception of that move, like, every other low he has crushes.
That move does no damage, but whatever.
Yeah.
That dick kick, that shit, that'll piss you off. Get hit by it 3 times in a row because you're waiting for the second hit.
Yep.
What is this garbage?
Yeah. and what's worse is it tracks, so you can't, like, step around it or anything.
That's something that also merits some discussion, is like any move, like a low move, where the character actually doesn't tech crouch. I mean, it's like a trade-off. If the move tech crouches, I mean, you got that going for you. It goes underneath highs. You get that evasion. But moves that are hit low, but the character stays standing, that's just as irritating. You're trying to reaction block stuff, and now he's hitting you low without even ducking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking annoying. And he has quite possibly my most hated low in this entire game, and that's down back 3.
I thought you were going to say that.
Fucking hate that move.
I don't mind that move.
I hate it. Because it's retardedly long range.
It's solid.
Crush it.
But I love that you can launch it on block.
Yeah, I mean, that's good and everything, but, I mean, on counter, it's going under highs, and on counter hit, it gives you the same sort of knockdown that down 2 does. Ugh.
Did they get that back to down back 3?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I mean, I was fairly certain it still does.
Cool.
Because maybe I was fairly certain it does.
Because I know they at least took it out at one point or something.
Oh, never mind. It doesn't anymore. I don't know why I was thinking it does. Maybe I took it down too.
And I am grateful that part's gone. So now, this is a launchable low, even though it grants enough frames where he gets like a free mix-up or whatever. Mm-hmm. At least he's not getting, real damage out of it even on counter hit.
That's true. But, God, it's just like...
Down 2, though. That makes the baby Jesus cry.
Yeah, down 2 is retarded. But, I still really hate down back 3. And it's so fucking fast.
It's like a Linkin Park song.
Stupid range. Ugh. But down 2 is the sexiness. That move is so strong. And if you do it at a little bit of range, it tracks. Ugh, it's nasty. Fucking thing is so nasty. And
he holds his hand up and then hits you in the feet. You get that extra feeling of disgust.
You're like oh. I saw it.
I followed that.
I watched him hit me with that move. Watched it go. That's fine. And then I don't think he has a generic low, but that's okay. You don't need it. He doesn't get with all the other crap that he has. So
he doesn't really.
So he has really good lows. The only thing that's aside from sidestep 4, I don't think
he has a well-balanced attack. I think.
Yeah, he does have a well-balanced attack. And then if you look at like his stances and shit, his stances in general, like the lows out of his stances are like really they're power hitters. So you're getting lots of damage. They're quick and they're power hitters, so you're getting lots of damage if you nail it. But he also has the nasty back turn stuff too. Because that low was down 3 out of back turn. That thing is way stupid. I mean, thank God.
That doesn't even have block stun, I think, if you block it, does it?
No.
I think it just goes right through.
But, I mean, it's still,
Launchable?
punishable.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's negative 15, so, yeah, I mean, you're still launching it, but it doesn't, I mean, you gotta be quick, because...
Yeah, those, yeah, not everyone has a 15-frame launcher.
Yeah.
But, the block stun is usually like a trigger, I don't know, for some people. Oh, okay, I get this.
Well, not only that, but if you look at like Mishimas or like specifically like let's say Armor King, if you get a block stun on a low, you can stand back up and then God Fist. But you don't have time to do that if there's no block stun. Even if it's launch punishable, you still have to have the while standing launch. And like Heihachi doesn't. What is he gonna do? I mean, he has the God Fist, but he doesn't have time to stand up and launch. So
another reason I think Heihachi's garbage.
I like Heihachi. I actually, it'll be interesting when we get there because I don't know who I would put ahead of him with the other Mishimas. Like I want to say Kazuya, but at the same,
it's definitely Kazuya.
but at the same time, I like Heihachi's low pokes more than I do.
Oh, he's got good stuff, but we'll get to him, I guess, later.
Yeah, but we'll get to him. We'll have those discussions later. But back to Feng, he has no low problem, and he's kind of back to the whole. I mean, we've mentioned this a few times in our podcasts. I mean, you have to be on the ball if you're playing against him. You have to make him pay.
He's a stick and move character, and you have to constantly respect that.
Yeah, you do, very much so.
But the blessing is that he isn't that great at punishing.
Yeah, and that's really at least in my eyes his biggest weakness. Because standing punishing from 10 to 13 frames, you're gonna do 1-2-2, and then if you're a good Feng player, you're probably gonna do 1-2-2 back turn. Otherwise, you're just sitting at 0, which, I mean, for Feng isn't all that bad, but I'd rather take a couple more frames and be in back turn because his back turn game is so fucking strong.
Improved.
Yeah, I do love that his shoulder is 13 frames. That is really sexy. But
and has no range issue.
Yeah, it has absolutely no range issue. But unless that's gonna like put him against the wall or something at 13 frames, I would actually probably rather do 1-2-2 and go into back turn because I mean his running, he doesn't really have a huge running game. I mean, he can run up and do something, but I'd rather have more. And I actually think 1-2-2 does more damage than back 12. Check that here. It should because I think it does like 30. The 1-2-2 does. Back 1-2 does 28, so it's about the same damage. But I'm a mix-up.
He gets better options. Yeah. He's back turned, and he can do one of those unseeable throws or something.
Yeah, I'm a mix-up guy. I like to if they're about the same. If two options are about the same, if one gives you a mix-up, I like to do that instead. So and I don't think shoulder wall splats unless you're like right on the wall. Because I think you have to be pretty close for that to wall splat.
I think one of Feng's biggest weaknesses, though, is actually his combos.
Really? Because that's one of his strengths.
Because, I mean, like, he can definitely get the damage or whatever, but he seems to have I don't know.
See, my problem...
Because he needs to use certain moves to bound, it makes his combos limited.
I don't know, because, I mean, yeah, he does have to use certain moves to bound, but, God, I think his fastest bound move is down back 12.
Yeah.
I think that's the fastest one. So, I mean, at least for me, that's pretty quick. I mean, that's...
It's the reason that it would be like a weakness with that stuff is, I mean, down back 12 is kind of quick, but doesn't it have like a range issue too in the combos? Like if you get too many hits or something, it just whiffs?
It can, yeah. It can whiff. But the reason that, I don't know, I guess I always, for whatever reason,
so I just think, yeah.
Whenever he's launching, I don't ever see it, being really weird angles or stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those
Okay.
characters that for whatever reason, when he gets you in the air, it's always, like, exactly how he needs you to be. If that makes sense.
I gotcha. I gotcha. I-
But what I...
Yeah, I just look at the weird angles and then how it might affect his wall carry, because he's not like a Nina Bruce wall carry guy. He's got like a mid-range wall carry.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was actually gonna. That's something I want to mention too. His wall carry isn't the best, but I don't think it's so bad that it's really like a hindrance to him all that much.
I think he gets his best wall carry after bound.
I would agree with
That's the
that.
weirdest thing.
I would agree with that because he has to, because in a lot of his juggles he has to do.
He has to keep him too close for those bound
Yeah,
moves.
he has to do the forward 4-3 usually to bound because of like the way they fall and stuff most of the time. So.
The man does, when he gets you on the wall, it does hurt.
Yeah, it does very much hurt. And then he obviously has all this fucking stupid mix-up games, so, you know...
He will take you to Pound Town with those bullshit lows.
Yep, absolutely. But the thing, kind of, to go back to the juggles and stuff, though, the thing that I hate about his juggles is that he has ridiculous Oki options because of his tech trap. And I really think that it's... I personally like tech traps. I like tech traps being in Tekken, but I'm of the belief that, or I should say of the preference, that if you're going to have tech traps
I like belief.
in the game, I'm of the belief. I believe that if you're going to have tech traps in the game, that it should be an all or nothing thing. It shouldn't be...
Thanks, Martin Luther.
It shouldn't be one of those things where only a couple of characters have it. It should be something where everybody has a tech trap option, you know. And I'm not talking about an option where you tech roll and then somebody does an unblockable. I'm talking he has an option where if you block it in any other circumstance, you would be able to block, but for whatever reason, if you tech roll, it hits you. And
So let's hear it. My totally motivated and handsome abortion baby daddy. Let's hear about this tech trap.
Well, it's pretty simple. After he...
Enlighten the masses.
You have a few different options with Fang to end after the bound, end your juggle, and then have them sit there. Or, you know, slam down, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, you have a few different options to end the juggle with. Usually the option is forward 3-4, the new launcher, 2-hit launcher.
Right.
And that puts you at a really good distance for it. But if they sit there, you just you run up and you do the head somersault, and that will hit you if you roll away or if you sit there. If you sit there, you're obviously taking mass damage because that move is freakishly strong. And if you roll away, you'll still be forced to block it. So it's really a bad situation for you. But if you tech roll, and I'm actually blanking on the notation for it, but it's a 2-hit punch string. They're both mid, and if you tech roll and block the first one, the second one hits you for whatever weird reason. And I actually have to look it up. It's a 2 move, 2 and a 1. Man,
Are you talking about like 2 slide 1?
Is that it?
It's the punch where he
Yes.
hits like towards the ground and then uppercuts?
Yes, 2 slide 1-1. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And then
I'm like so off today. But yeah, 2 slide 1-1. And if you block the 2 slide 1, the 1 hits you. And it is so fucking stupid. I hate that so much.
yeah, and he gets a little damage after it too, doesn't he?
There's nothing guaranteed after it, I don't think. However, it doesn't matter because you're tech rolling and you're put in the exact same situation, you know, because it knocks you down.
Okay.
So I'm fairly certain that once that hits you, you don't. He can't do 2 slide 1-1 again. I actually have. I don't know how, but I've never tested it to see if you can just keep doing that. But it doesn't matter because he's knocking you down and you're put in another shitty situation. But I
love how bitter you are about this guy. This guy is totally vinegar to you.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fact that he has the fucking tech trap like that just pisses me off so much. Like, it's one thing for characters to have like silly wall tech traps where you can do, big hop kicks, and for whatever reason it kicks them in the back of the head. Like it's one thing to have those, but to just have just straight up tech rolls in a game where those are supposedly supposed to be gone. Like, ugh.
Supposedly supposed to.
Supposedly supposed to. You know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I'm tired. I'm
That's
flipping
good.
a little.
It works for me.
But my English is not the best today, nor my memory, but whatever.
It's not the best. It's not good to you?
But, God, that just pisses me off so much. It really does.
Yeah, actually, you in the middle of your tirade there, you brought up that flip move.
Yeah.
That move is fucking bullshit.
That is.
Jumps, lows, ducks, highs, reaches. I hate that garbage.
Thing tracks. Yeah, like you said, it reaches, has retarded range, retarded damage. If it hits you, you're in a shitty situation because it's knocking you down. Ugh.
That's a lesser spoke about move, but man, I hate that thing.
Yeah, the only downside to that move is it's kind of slow, so you can jab him, but really?
Good luck jabbing him. Yeah. He's ducking your shit too.
Yeah. Oh, God.
With the side of.
But okay, so Okay, so we have the tech trap stuff.
Right.
But kind of go back a little ways. We were talking about his punishing game.
Right.
So you have shoulder at 13 frames, and then at 15 he can launch you with hop kick. However,
the range
on it sucks. So if you have something like say
Death Fist.
Yeah, Death Fist. I mean, shoulder is still nasty, but it's not as nasty as getting launched. So
yeah. If we're going to talk about his punish game, on whiff punish, I think that new 4-3-4, that is just about as disgusting as it gets.
Yeah, that's okay. So even though we're listing block punishing that he's kind of weak on, his whiff punishing is superb. He is,
and I think it's really that move that adds to that shit.
Yeah,
that is so good.
Yeah, I would agree that move.
Don't be whiffing against Feng; he'll kill you.
Yeah, pretty much. And with all his evasive crap, it's hard not to whiff against him. But okay, so his block punishing. So we got the standing ones. His while standing is very subpar. I mean, he gets while standing 4 up until 15, and yeah.
But yeah, other than that,
because he doesn't.
That's
that's all he has up until 15, where he can launch with while standing 3. Which I'm not going to say it has a range issue, but it's not as good as like say Statue of Liberty. I mean, you're not dishing freedom out with that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. The weird hit stun, I guess how it hits. It's not a good juggle starter anymore. He does, however, have top-tier move names, as I'm discovering here. Throat Gouge.
Well, yeah.
Adamantine Upper. Hidden Intentions. Oh, my God, Hidden Intentions.
what move is that? You tell me what.
That's Sidestep 2.
That's hilarious.
Enjoy this fucking garbage.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's got great move names.
Yes, he does. Oh, my.
Ruinous Halberd.
Dude, fish hook. Who wants to get fish hooked? Oh, man.
Calling that out in tournaments. Come on, people.
Fish hook. We need to start that trend where nothing is actual notations. It's all move names.
Well, just now I'm trying to get this whole hot palm thing going. That should be the name of it.
It is, dude. It is hot palm.
Enjoy a hot palm.
Fucking stink palms and stuff. Oh, ugh. Too funny. So, okay, so he's I would say he's below average on the block punishing game, but with punishing kids, be careful, because you're going to be on the pain train. So don't just throw shit out just because you feel like it.
Woo-hoo!
Okay, so what else? Okay, so we've talked about juggles. He's got a little bit of an issue with the wall carry stuff. But it's mostly because he, like you mentioned, he has to bound in order to get like his really, really good wall.
Because he just has to bound too early because of the range on those. It's kind of like Lily also. I mean, her combos are pretty good, probably better than his still, but her bound moves, like she only really can use a couple of them and they have short range. That's actually like one of the lower weaknesses I was looking at for some of these characters, like King, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that because Lily actually, I think, has some pretty good wall carry because she has like
That new string.
well, she has what is like down 224. So I definitely have to do some research on her because I have like a 6-move Lily, so I usually don't stray from those moves. But I know she has like a couple strings that like send you half screen, so.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. But
she has to bound a little bit earlier. If she didn't have to bound a little bit earlier, she could probably take you to the house every time.
Yeah, and her bound moves are kind of slow, like the down forward 3 or whatever. Like all of her bound moves, like the whole purpose of the bound of the move itself is to hit you really low, so they tend to be kind of slower. But hey, that's Lily. That's for another time. But
another offshoot. Sorry.
But Feng is sort of in the same boat, I would say.
Did you say buffet?
But Feng. So yeah, sorta. We're gonna
Blinken.
We're gonna hit the buffets every once in a while. But okay, so we got that. Okay, we talked about his launchers a little bit. Let's see. Overall safety. Something to be wary of. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of like extremely punishable moves, but you need to go to school and you need to figure out which ones are and which ones aren't. Otherwise, he's just going to kill you with frame trap and shit. And because he has such strong lows and he's so mid-heavy, with stuff like back 4, down forward 2-2, he has a really good down forward 1, and all that fucking stupid shit.
I actually see his mid pokes, even though some of them are really strong, like down forward 2-2, stuff like that. In general, I see most of his mid pokes as kind of slow or not giving him enough damage. So that's another reason that range is so strong, because like you can play a little faster at that range than he can. I don't know. That's something else I see.
That's true, but the only problem is if you have a Feng player and you're trying to stay at that range, he's really good at fucking with that range because he can either go backwards and play his spacing game, or he can go forward with his crouch dashing or snake dashing, whatever, and get in your face and mess with your spacing. And if you start whiffing stuff, he's going to kill you.
That's for sure. Just finding the nitpicks.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. But I guess kind of, when we talked about Steve, sort of.
I'm just picking maggots out of the silverback gorilla here.
Indeed. But when we were talking about Steve, it's sort of the same issue, except I think Feng has definitely some better long-range options. But still one of those things where, you have to play a spacing game with him, and it sucks, but, at least it's an option.
I seem to point out like these range things. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Every character has like weaker areas, and you gotta know what ranges these characters are at their worst at.
Yeah.
I know a couple people who have been listening to the podcast who don't really play Tekken. They hear some of our stuff like, "Oh, that move's busted," or "Oh, this character sucks at this range." It's just part of nitpicking is all. It's not that like anything's really broken or anything. Yeah. It's just that's our way of giving it its homage.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, a lot of characters in this game, especially the top-tier characters, are so solid in so many areas that you really have to nitpick in order to build a strategy to try to, get around all the bullshit, so...
We're not encouraging you to get hit by Steve while standing 1-2s or anything.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But if you have to, it's better than getting launched.
Yeah, that's true. If you have an option, I mean... You're going to have to take the lesser of two evils sometimes.
Eating lots of back ones from Lars.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel good when you eat a back one, but whatever,
You're not getting launched.
Yeah, that's true. And your entire life bar gone. So, but to kind of, with the whole safety issue, the thing that's really scary about Feng is that he's so mid and low heavy. But at the same time, you can't, it's really hard to just, like, pick one option, like, try to keep blocking the lows and stuff like that. And then the mids come out, and a lot of his mids wall splat, so you always have to worry about that. And then you stand to block the mids, and not only does he have the lows, but he also has stupid highs that put you in really negative frames, like the core circle forward 12, the headbutt.
that one's good.
Yeah, that gives you, him +4 and puts you in and puts you in crouch. Fuck stupid. On hit, on just regular hit, it just gives him even more frames. But on counter hit, knocks down. So, I mean,
gives him damage.
Yeah, but I mean that's a high, and he has a few others that are like that. So, yeah.
You just got to make him use all of his tools. Make him throw out his panic buttons. Make him use the slower mids. Make him use the chippy lows. Make him constantly guess, and eventually you can try to win that war of attrition.
That's true, and yeah. And that's exactly what's going to be when you play him is a war of attrition. I mean, it's not pretty. It's it's a slugfest, pretty much. And
I will say back one is no Magic 4.
No, it isn't. But he does have a Magic 4.
That's my thing.
But he does have
I thought his Magic 4 was garbage.
No, well, he doesn't get a full juggle off of it, but he does get down 412. And hold on just a second. Let me pull up
that shit isn't 12 frames though either, is it? That his 4?
Hold on.
I think that's
I don't believe so, but let me... Damn it, they don't have it listed here. Where the fuck? That's weird, they don't have just generic 4. That's goofy. Huh. I don't think so, because as far as I know, even when people list off, punishers and stuff, even if it's a shitty punisher, they usually still list it at certain frames. And I didn't see 4 being a 12 frame moves.
Nah.
It's not, no, it's not 12 frames, it's not your typical generic, but it's still fast. I mean, it has to be 13. I would say, if it's any slower than 13, I'd be surprised. So it's still quick, and down 412 can wall splat. Or, at least give you a little wall push, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still damage. But it doesn't matter because he has back 1, at least in my mind. It's no Magic 4. I actually do prefer Magic 4 because you get fucking stupid juggles if you have a character that has a good Magic 4. But back 1, he's basically exchanging 2 frames for the juggle, He doesn't get as much of a juggle, but he still gets a follow-up.
It's a variance, yeah.
He still gets, really good damage because you can either do shoulder or forward 2 after a counter hit back 1. So you're still...
I grant you, he's not completely screwed in the counter hit approach game.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Let's see, there we missed. I feel like grabs. We definitely need to mention grabs because his grabs are super nasty. And we were talking about his Oki game, and a lot of his.
This is pretty much the best part of his Oki game.
Yeah, his grabs. And you mentioned the back turn grab stuff. We mentioned this, I know, at least once when we were talking about Law, but you cannot see back turn grabs. They throw with the same arm every time. And that's
unless you're one of those players that breaks on the opening animations rather than the arms, but most people look at the arms.
That's true. Okay, yeah, I guess if you look at it that way, but I mean you have to be like, that's crazy. But I mean seriously, if you're able to do that, you're my hero. Because especially off of his back turn 12 grab, that thing comes out so quick, the animation is so quick.
Yeah, that one won't be broken
for the animation. Yeah. But that's what makes him so fucking stupid because that grab, and he does have the one grab that that just tosses you away. But other than that, his other 2 grab, his forward facing grab down forward 12, that puts you pretty much in the exact same situation as back turn 12. His back turn 12 grab does.
That's a really scary throw that way.
It is. He is right on top of you, literally right on top of you.
And he has a stomp, so he has a fast, big damage ground hitting move to scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah, and that's another advantage for him that a lot of other characters don't, even top tier characters don't have. Law has a little bit of problem with hitting low characters that for whatever reason they get really low, say a Ling or an Eddie or something like that. He doesn't. His move hits so low.
And his stomp, like, it hits fast enough and hard enough, and then as soon as you've been hit with it, it basically resets the situation.
Yeah.
Some stomps don't do that. That one actually does. It's probably the stomp that does it the best.
Yeah. It's not the coolest, though. I have to give that to Armor King down 4-4. But that's
You're biased.
Yep. That's,
Dragunov players have their choice.
yeah, they do, but they still prefer Armor King's curve stomps. I don't know if you know this, but I have 3 of them.
You pulled them, huh?
Yeah. American History X, what's up? That's all I said. That was, in fact, that was the question. Who would you prefer, Armor King or someone who doesn't have an American History X stomp? And most people said Armor King. So, other people hadn't seen American History X, so.
This sounds like a question they asked on The Feud.
It was. 90% of people pulled.
There was that one, and then there was, like, no answer.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's fucking dirty. God, it's so nasty. And he has a lot of stuff that hits OTG, too, because he just has the, he has the stuff.
Shit, OTG?
OTG. That's a 2D term for all you fucking Tekken and only 3D.
Only the gay.
Yeah.
Only the gay on the ground.
Yeah. But, his head somersault hits fucking grounded. Why that move hits grounded, I will never know. But it does,
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's when I was talking about his tech trap. That's why that thing is so stupid.
Yeah, that move. My fault.
And then, all of his lows hit on the ground, and which that may sound kind of stupid. That oh yeah, duh, it's a low. Of course, it's gonna hit on the ground, but not everyone's lows hit on the ground. So yeah, fucking grabs and Oki, and his grab.
Couple of those. Okay.
And then so I think we covered most of it because he has his crouch dash stuff. So if you're playing Feng, make sure that you're getting that crouch dash motion down because it's fucking key to keeping the pressure on. And he has he can do his while standing 4 out of his crouch dash. He can do the while standing 1, which is a really good poke that tracks.
Mm-hmm. You know what we should discuss next?
What's that?
Our new segment.
Oh, yes. Oh, you kids out here are going to love this. Okay. So thank you very much to my lovely and beautiful, handsome, and ingenious co-host. He has come up with a brand new segment to please you, the listeners. And we like to call it, I'll leave this to you, Dan. What do you want to call it? I have an idea in my head, but I want you to name it. It's your baby.
No. If you have an idea, I actually haven't picked one out. Go for it.
Well, I was going to say, they have girls on trampolines. Well, we have girls on low parries. Girls on low parries. How about that? Unless you have something better than that.
Girls going low.
Girls, that's better. I like that. Girls going low. So for all those who sit at home and watch porn or listen to porn, whatever you're into, we hope you listen to it because we're going to have a woman.
Girls going low.
Yep, girls going low. A vagina with a mouth that's going to read to you.
Oh, I hope she doesn't hear that. She's going to kill me.
Who's going to read for you Feng's low parry juggle. So if you don't have anything else, Dan, I'm just going to let it go.
You go right into that.
All right, here we go, kids. Feng's low parry juggle.
Down, forward 1, forward 3, 4, down 1, 1 and 2, and that's max damage.
Thank you.
It's really funny that she said 1 and 2. That's gonna crack people up.
Yeah. Yeah, if they've been listening.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope you to enjoy that. That was amazing. And we're
max damage.
And we're gonna keep getting different women, just so you don't think we're like recycling our mom's voice or something. So we have.
She actually turned us down.
Yeah, we have real women, real women out there who are youngish. So, all right. Well, that's really all I have for the character discussion. So if there's anything.
I would like to add something actually.
Okay, cool. Because I was just gonna say, whenever you're done, we'll just talk about. We'll go into the tier talk. So.
All right. Basically, you brought up what is it, the up forward 2 or whatever with Feng? How it was hard to punish.
Yeah.
You can only punish it with your back to the wall or some kind of crap like that.
Yeah, because he like pushes you back a little bit.
Yeah, that cracks me up. People look at these like moves like that or whatever, like hop kick. People always talk about 12-frame punishes that wall stun or whatever. I mean, granted that it's gonna happen every now and again. Like, oh my god, it's a big deal. I have a knockdown 12-frame punisher that can wall stun. But who the fuck is throwing out a hop kick with their back to the wall, or who's doing up forward 2 when their back's to the wall? If you know your move is 12-frame punishable and it's usually safe or whatever, or well, in Hopkick's case, you just think the risk versus reward's going to work for you, but what are you doing? People are looking for this shit. Yeah. They're building their lives around this dream fucking situation where they can Lars 2-4 you into the wall.
You know, I'm actually glad you brought that up because specifically to Feng, aside from up forward 2, I mean, you have back 1, but, you know, that's negative 10 frames, and I mentioned earlier. It's a really quick recovery, so you have to watch out for that move. But, you know, hop kick is negative 12, and Feng's hop kick is negative 12, just like everybody else's. But
except Miguel's.
Except Miguel's. But if you do up 4 with Feng, and I do see Feng players throwing out up 4 a lot because it's, you know, it's just a panic move. You know, you hope that they're trying to come in on you and you catch them, you know, at the pinky toe or the big toe length. But if that whiffs, it's really hard to punish.
Kill. You can kill him.
Well, no, I mean, if you just do the up one and you're not at the right distance, chances are, unless you have like a shoulder or something, it's really hard to do that. It is way harder to do that than most people think.
Oh man, yeah, but there's a couple of them, like a lot of the straight up ones or even the up back ones. People don't realize it, but you've got like 30 seconds to punish a jump back hop kick.
Well, the jump back one, but like
well, I'm just as an example, but I mean like the straight up one. I think most people like sit there and wait for the block stun to happen or something. Just go for your launcher as soon as you see that.
See, because whenever I see Feng being played, or you know when I'm playing against him or with him, whatever, if you do the up version of it, his hop kick seems to recover a lot quicker than just your normal standard, you know, foot to the sky hop kick. And excuse me, I had to burp there.
Mad at Jesus.
Yeah. But like, I mean, if you just watch it, like he doesn't look like his entire body, like the space between him and the ground seems to be bigger than other characters, but like he goes up and down really fast. So
that's what she said.
Yeah, thank you. So he, like, I mean, if you just like watch it, I mean, obviously, if you're just sitting there spamming out up 4, your opponent is going to catch on and they're going to wait for it and then just launch you for it. But like I've seen, like, you know, I know people like to, you know, talk about Korean vids, and I'm no different, so why not? But if you watch Korean vids, I mean, you know, every once in a while you'll see a Feng player, you know, the few that they have, throw out an up 4.
Yeah.
And
it's a solid spacing, it's like move.
Yeah,
I grant you.
Yeah, I'm not saying like
that for a couple characters
and then
too.
Do up 4 or anything like that.
But if you know somebody, you know, is using that occasionally for their spacing deal, you got to be ready. Just throw out your launcher as soon as those things fucking happen, because most of the time it's just going to completely whiff. You're not even going to get the block stun.
Sure, but in general, I am happy that you mentioned that, because there are a lot of people who there's not a big balance between theory and practicality, and we're trying to give you both, and that's and like most of your good players are going to know the difference between just theory fighting and practicality, but
if you know your opponent has a 12-frame knockdown Punisher, don't be hop kicking with your back to the wall, dummy.
Pretty much.
Oh, he usually only gets 30 damage. Now I fucking explode like Mega Man hits spikes. What the hell?
All right. Well, was that it, or did you have any other little notes that you wanted to?
I'm pretty good there. I think it's your turn for the rant, even if we went into that.
Well, no, I don't really have a rant, but I did want to discuss where Feng is on the tiers real quick, just because we've been doing it with every other character. Because I don't think he's in your top 5, but he's actually my number 1. So I guess where do you put him?
I put him upper mid with quite a few characters. I would say maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. That's quite a distance from where I have him, but
He's out by Dragunov.
he's all what?
He's out by Dragunov for me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But most people don't think Dragunov is any good at all, so...
Which I
Fair
think
game.
is really stupid, because, yeah, Dragunov is way good. He's one of those characters where he doesn't do anything like... Well, he does spacing really well, but he doesn't, like, do anything, like, completely awesome, but at the same time, he has no really glaring weaknesses. He's just...
I can't wait for us to finally get to him.
Oh, yeah, and we're getting...
Shine some more knowledge.
We're getting close, because, I mean, we're starting to run out of the top-tier characters, you know? We're starting to get, I mean, we got most people's top 3 already, so... and we got Nina coming up pretty soon, I know, so...
Stay tuned.
Yeah, so
kids.
stay tuned. I mean, we'll get there, no problem. I personally think... I just think that Feng just has the exact same tools that everybody else has, and for the very few weaknesses that he has, he makes it up in other areas. So, like, you know, you say, you know, the Magic 4, which I agree with. I think in order to be, like, a really solid character, you have to have a Magic 4 or something like it. And, you know, Steve has back 1. And I think that Feng, you know, he has other tools like his back 1. That are along the same deal. So that's, you know, just my opinion. So I know that not a lot of other people think that he's that high, but I just...
You know what? I'm gonna give you a round of applause just for picking him, just because so many people on, like, you know, Tekken Zaibatsu or whatever, they just ride the same herd of crap. Oh, so and so is definitely top tier because fucking, I don't know. I don't want to pull anyone's name from TZ. Because fucking Shang said, you know, he's top tier, so it has to be that way.
Yeah. No, don't. Yeah, I am all about people having their own custom tiers. And, like, and, I mean, tiers will move
If you can back them up.
Yeah, exactly. And tiers will move around, too, like, depending on people. Because, like, for example, for me, the worst character, and, you know, I have no problem saying this out, you know, for everyone to hear. My worst character to play against is Julia. And she, just because, I don't know why. Like, that character, just her counter hit tools, for whatever reason, I just run into them all day. And I've played tons of Julia. I mean, we have a Julia player here in Iowa, and, you know, Antonio is not very far. You know, he's over in Wisconsin. You know, we run into him every once in a while. So it's not like
a lot of people just eat Julia.
Yeah, it's not. You know, in this. I mean, the character herself. I mean, she has weaknesses, obvious weaknesses, but for whatever
glaring weaknesses.
But just for whatever reason, you know, people will get eaten alive by certain characters for no particular reason. So yeah, so. I don't really give a shit what anybody else says. Feng is my number 1 because I think he's really, really fucking stupid. And
if you don't like it,
yeah, and I can't wait until a top tier player actually picks this character up and just starts raging people with him. I'm very much waiting for that. So cool. So that's all I have.
That's almost like a rant right there, what you just did.
Well,
hold on, do it again. Let me take my pants off.
We'll get there. We'll get to the rant. But so that will officially end our Feng discussion. Do you have anything particular for, like, little hot topics or whatever?
Nope. I actually pretty unprepared.
Oh, that's okay, because this time, unlike last time, I actually have a couple things to chat about. Because
well, then you balance me out, Yang.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. So, with the release of Marvel recently, you know, we've been playing a lot of Marvel here, and I actually have a couple of...
yeah, I caught you doing it, too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're witnesses, exactly. But, you know, it's one of those things where the only real I do not like Marvel at all. I really don't. I liked it for about the first week and a half, and then it just grinds on you, and I really hate a lot about that game. And most of it has to do with, like, fundamental parts of the game that I'm just not a big fan of. But, you know, we're playing it. It's what everyone is playing, so, you know.
The new freshness.
Yeah. So as a competitive player, you know, if you don't have a whole lot of other competition and other stuff, or, you know, you're not playing anything else at the moment, you're typically going to pick up whatever, you know, people are playing. But as I'm playing this game...
Not me. I'm not a fucking sheep.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You conformist.
With the exception of you stick to your guns.
I've got this guy a 4. That's the game I made.
See, I don't have a system, and, you know, just for everyone out there, I do not own a video game system. The best I have is a computer, so I have all the emulator garbage on there, of course, you know, the old school stuff. But,
the
real games, back when games were games and they were fun.
When games were men.
before everything had a fucking strategy guide. But, you know, I don't have a system, so whenever I'm playing on a PS3 or Xbox or whatever, I'm at somebody else's house, so usually, you know, single-player stuff doesn't really work for me. And, you know, just to keep the competitive drive alive, I typically, you know, play whatever anybody else is playing, unless I have a specific reason not to. But I've been thinking a lot about fundamentals just of fighting games in general, and it's really, really, really funny to see how, like, games have changed over time, and how it's almost like game creators are acknowledging that nobody has the time to develop fundamentals anymore, so they build these mechanics in the game that just kind of do it for you.
Yeah, like the crush system.
Like the crush system. The crush system is a good one. Although I do like the crush system because it was way too low jab happy. So I don't mind the crush system, but the bound system.
Yeah, that's in NBC.
Yeah,
now.
It's basically a bound system. But I mean, even in Tekken, you know, I mean, what the fuck? Like, seriously, people can't do juggles anymore. You have to give them their bound move, let them bound, and then give them an hour to do the juggle? Like, are you fucking serious? But
they're so desperate for creativity, they're just throwing whatever idea happened at the chair meeting.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of, you know, like...
And it's really, I blame, like, the reviewers and the magazine-type people. This game doesn't really do anything new. Sorry, they polished it up. I don't know. Madden gets to put stuff out in the same stadiums every year, right? We should bitch.
Yeah, I agree. But,
I can't wait to see it bound in fucking Madden.
That'd be hilarious.
Sack Brett Favre, and then he's sitting there bound. All right, now my 10-hit combo. Get him to the end zone. Fuck
that
him.
Would be hilarious.
Skill check that fool on
that
the
would
wall.
Be so funny. But you know, to kind of go along with the fundamentals thing, you know, it's not just the systematic stuff, but if you look around, like, in Marvel is a really good example because all you have to do is have a sound fundamental game, and you can be half decent at that game and not have to worry about doing all this J-Wong shit and whatnot. And if you go to, like, a final round or something, I mean, you're going to do pretty well. Just by having basic fundamentals. And when we just had, you know, our tournament, which our monthly, which you were here for, and a Wisconsin player, he made a funny comment to me. We played in the tournament, and right before we played, he said, "Man, Tekken tournaments are so hard." And what he meant by that is that no scrubs come to Tekken tournaments, you know, because it's so, like, you have to have such a sound fundamental game to play it. I mean, you have to understand lows and highs and mids and spacing and punishing, that nobody who's a scrub plays that fucking game. And it's just really funny because it's a stark...
I beg to disagree.
Well, it's a stark contrast to Marvel, where, you know, scrub players are a dime a dozen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because everybody has to play Captain America or whatever. You know, so I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was a really funny comment, and I thought it was really true. Like, every time I go to a Tekken tournament, there are never fucking scrubs. Like, you're always playing people who know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of required knowledge. There's more dynamics. It's not, you know, just that, like, like 2D games. I mean, they're solid. They have a really good fundamental structure. It's all about spacing entirely in that in that series. And there's other ways to crack shells in Tekken and stuff. And then when you add spacing in, I mean, it's the extra dimension really adds a lot.
Absolutely. I agree. But
and then it's all frame counting and stuff like
yeah.
that. I don't know.
And I do want to, that's really all I had for that. I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was a really, really, I don't want to say eye-opening, but I thought it was a really clever comment because I hadn't really thought about it ever, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true, like there are just some of those games where even if there's a lot of entrants, I mean, everyone's good, everyone just because of the way the game is. But I do want to give a shout out real quick.
I like shout-outs.
I do because I need to give a shout out to Fighting GM. He came to the last E that we had, and he's a really cool dude. I mean, he has the New York East Coast attitude, but you got
that's cool.
You got to have that. But I know it's not really received well in certain parts. But I do have to give him props because final round happened over this past weekend, and he took Tekken. And I have to give fucking props to anybody who takes a mid-tier character where he's taken him. And for those who don't know, I don't know how you don't, but he plays Lee. Lee and only Lee. It's like you, Dan, except with Lee. He touches nobody but Lee, and somehow his foundation, his game is so strong that he takes that game.
I played him.
And I played him too, because not only did we meet him, you actually played him when he was in, when we had the last E. I have not played him in a tournament. However, it
was a hard fight.
when
I give that man his dues.
The last Midwest Championships that Keats held, I actually got some casuals in him after the tournament was over, and he's solid. I actually I cheesed out some victories, mostly because I don't think he has a lot of Armor King experience, and I believe I could be wrong, but I think when the last it wasn't Evo, what was I think it was the last MLG or something like that. It was a really big tournament, and he got knocked out by an Armor King player. So I think he has an issue with Armor King. So I think I kind of scrubbed out some victory.
Everybody's got their
absolutely
kryptonite.
they do. But I wanted to give him a shout out.
Even Superman GM.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things. Kind of like Anakin. Everybody knows. Jack is pretty solid, but I mean, when you're playing Jack and you're going up against a Steve or a Law or Nina, I mean those matchups are hard. So I mean you have to recognize those players for what they're doing.
Yeah. If you win with Jack, you have my eternal respect. Because I'm sorry, I think Jack sucks.
I actually think he's really solid, but at most I would put him high mid. So it's not like he's like top tier or anything like that. But yeah. So yeah, just want to give a little shout out there. So I guess our last segment. Man, I don't even know if I really have any. Oh, you know what? Well, I'll just do your suggestion. I'll sound off on Marvel. And I'm just gonna go into it. I hate Marvel. For all you Marvel players out there, that game sucks. And I'm just letting you know this right now. That game is fucking garbage. I don't know why.
Listen up.
I don't know why so many fucking people play that game. I'm hoping it's just a trend, like for me, because I'm playing it just to play it because everyone else is playing it, and I really hope that's the only reason everyone else is playing it. And at some point, we'll all realize how stupid we're fucking being, and we'll stop playing that game. Because that game has no balance whatsoever to it, other than the fact that everyone is stupid broke. And I don't really see that as balance so much as I see a creation development flaw. And that game just sucks. I'm so sorry. And no matter what you may say, Capcom doesn't give a fuck about balancing that game. Every time they try to, it's a terrible balance. Ugh. That game sucks. Okay?
That's the word of the podcast.
Ugh. God, I hate that game.
That's a pretty good rant. I don't like the ABC combo method either.
I don't.
I'll add my.
I actually don't mind that combo system. There are a couple of fundamental system things that I hate about Marvel. The first is the fucking X Factor. That was retarded. You should, if you're gonna do that, at least do it to where it's, sort of the rage system where it activates on its own only in a certain situation. Giving the player the option of doing double damage whenever the fuck they want is stupid. Second, I really, really hate chip damage. I will never get used to chip damage. I think it's really stupid that you should, especially in a game like Marvel. Like, it's okay in Street Fighter because you're not sitting there blocking a fucking super every 5 seconds. But in Marvel, chip damage should not be there. And I don't care if you don't take chip damage in X Factor. It doesn't even it out. Not even close.
Did you know, and this is kind of a lesser known thing because it's practically irrelevant, but did you know Tekken has chip damage?
In what way?
Right now, it has chip damage. If the character attacking you is soul charged and he's attacking you, you're taking chip damage.
Oh, I actually did know that. I did. I was very aware of.
I love that
shit.
But that people don't even know
at least, in Tekken, that's a pretty even trade. Because first of all, you're not doing a lot of chip damage. Second of all, you can't block. So you...
Yeah, the person who's soul charged can't block, but if somehow you can find a situation to set that up, I think that's pretty interesting. I love that shit. And actually, I keep trying to get that going with Dragunov and everything. I would love to make someone block a running 2 and then block like a 3-hit string, and all of a sudden for blocking, you just lost like 35 damage.
That would be really... That'd be pretty creative. Yeah, I don't mind chip damage like that, but God, just the...
If there's a trade-off,
but there's no trade-off in Marvel. You X Factor, and you're not only doing more chip, but if they happen to not have X Factor anymore, they're taking ridiculous amounts of chip, and they can't do anything about it. And if they do have X Factor, you're basically forcing them to use their X. Oh God, it's just stupid. That whole X Factor is so fucking stupid. And I like that they put in the advanced guard, but it's not good enough. So, you have these stupid fucking characters like Dark Phoenix. It's like, oh, hey, let's give her an assist, by the way. It doesn't matter. We're going to give this character 5 bars, or, you have 5 supers, so you basically have an extra character. And then if you still have an assist, like, say, Sentinel, who everyone should be running on their team, even if they did just nerf him, I don't care. It wasn't a good...
Even if you're not playing that game, you need Sentinel
on that team. But when you're an X Factor, you move faster. So she's just sitting there spamming the screen. You're taking chip damage. You can't do shit about it. Ugh. God, I hate it. There's just so many times in that game.
I've never seen you so worked up. This is great.
Oh, I just hate that game so much.
I want to take you down right now.
It's time. Whenever I play it, I just don't want to play it. When you guys came over for the weekend, and we had our tournament and stuff, and we played 5-6 hours of Tekken.
That's right, guys. We were in Iowa.
We're brothers, but we were playing some Tekken, and then we switched to Marvel or something. It's like you, me, and Mr. Delicious, for anybody who knows his name, another Minnesota player. We were playing Tekken, and then another of our players comes in, and Mr. Delicious had never seen Marvel, really, so we put in Marvel, and after playing for a few hours of Tekken, and then I play another one of our players in Marvel, I wanted to puke. I was like, ugh, I hate this game even more now. I didn't mind it so...
That game makes my penis puke.
God, it's just,
that's the opposite of
I have so many gripes against that game that I can't. It's hard for me to even.
This is a
great it's hard for me.
You have blown out the record.
I have. Oh yeah, I've taken. It's just ditch this fucking game. If you people are playing Marvel, boycott it, please. Just stop playing it.
Friends don't let friends play
for God's sake. Ugh. And I'm done putting time into that game. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I have a 3-person team. I'll play it if people want to play it, if I really don't have any other choice, but I'm not picking up anybody else. I'm done. Done learning anything else about that game. Because it just continues to get more and more broke with every passing day. And it's only been a month.
And It has been
Yeah.
a month, and there's still no Proto Man.
Yes. Oh, another reason.
Dumbest choice ever. Where's Proto Man?
Or, as, you know, the topic you brought up, where are the fucking Mavericks? I don't give a shit about Zero. Mega Man's cool, but I want Mavericks. I want a fucking Maverick in that game. Please. Alright. Well, that's it for fucking bashing Marvel and Capcom and all their shitty games. So, do you have anything else before we put this to a close?
No, sir. No, sir. You did a great job.
Kids, you guys need to send us your Michael Winslows, because we don't have enough, nearly enough, and I'm kind of sad, and I don't want to end this on a bitter note. So send us your Michael Winslows. We don't really have any questions. Nobody.
For those that don't even know what we're talking about, because it was only in the first episode.
Whatever.
Michael Winslow is the sound effects guy from the Police Academy movies. If you had him for 24 hours, what would you do? What would you have him do?
Yeah, and we've gotten a couple of pretty good responses. What was it? God, you had one. You said Big Mike said something.
It's in the TZ thread.
Okay, I'm looking right now because everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know what he would do.
This is what a man
Yeah,
posts.
absolutely. I am looking it up right now because it's something that should be aired. And also, if you people have questions, I want to do a question and answer time. I really do, because I think it'd be funny, and I think it'd be fun for us.
I think it would be great to read your stupid question.
Yeah, and then bash your question. Oh, and don't think that we're going to praise you for asking a question. Whatever your question is, we're going to fucking bash the shit out of it. Okay, so we put.
The question and answer equivalent to holding out your hand and then, whoo, smoothing out the hair.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Big Mike. So the only person who actually is cool enough to care,
Rules?
yeah, about Michael Winslow. So he would have Michael Winslow in his bedroom play-by-play sexual sound effects. Especially, and these are Mike's words. Especially my dismounts. Because I have 8 signature moves with no possible text. And for Michael Winslow to be doing sound effects for that, that's pro. You can't get better than that. So, all right. Well, it's been long. It's been rough, but it's been fun.
That's what happens on the sexiest podcast.
Yep, and
ever.
at least we got some Michael Winslow love going on. So, all right, kids. There's your Fang juice. There's some anti-Marvel spiels. So take from us what you want to take from us, and you guys have a great